Why don't you go see your boyfriend?
Yeah, he's got a nice room. He won't have it long. He left a call for 7 a.m.
Can you please look up this thing?
See if we can figure out something.
Hi. I am older than yesterday. Steve was first, said, happy birthday. I said, happy birthday. Because I'm older now, I can't hear so good. Hey, Sheena. Hey, Sharon. Thank you so much. And Mel, good morning. My cousin is tomorrow, the one that was here. Hey, Lilith. Wait, I just accidentally skipped a bunch. Happy 18th. I don't know if I go back to 18. I'll probably go back to 30. 18 was a bit wild for me now. Vicky is prompt and I love it. So it's probably from my, I want to say 8, 9 years in radio. Is it 9 from 24? It's 10 years. 10 years in radio. You're late if it's 0, 0, and 30 seconds, even 1 second. Like news has to be o'clock on the exact 0, 0. And thank you for all the birthday wishes. Because it's my birthday and I'm finding Oscar a bit boring because I've seen it before, we're going to caught up, but I've grabbed some people. I've made a playlist and I've grabbed some people that we don't often watch, some of whom delete their streams very fast. So fingers crossed that they don't halfway, like what happened yesterday. I think I watched this one earlier today by myself. For when we were watching, who were we watching? That was the judge. Oh, the heart. I'm sorry. YouTube Creative Studio. I don't understand why I can't just set it as always off. I should probably also, I also made a longer intro for this very purpose. But you know what I did during the intro? I was like, not realizing that I had given myself an entire minute so that I could have this stuff sorted before people even join. I will try to be better. Webster from Kansas. Yes, she just cut it while we were in the middle of it. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
We will go on the record in the matter 19 FA17 in re the marriage of Carrie Furr and John Furr. Appearances are we have Carrie appearing in person with counsel Todd Smith. We have John appearing in person with counsel Jamie Johansson. We're set here today in the second part of this hearing as it relates to Mr. Furr's petition and motion for a change in summer and holiday placement. I can't recall off of the top of my head where we were in the hearing. Mr. Smith?
Judge, we were here back in May, I believe. It was a de novo review of Court Commissioner Krupa's decision on two issues. One was, excuse me, on Ms. Furr's motion to dismiss the motion filed by Mr. Furr to modify placement. The other was Ms. Furr's request for a de novo review of the court's contempt finding. And at the last hearing, I think we finished up with Mr. Furr's testimony. And we were going to continue today from there.
All right. Mr. Johansson, do you have any other witnesses?
Your Honor,
Go ahead.
Your Honor, I believe we've reached an agreement.
Oh, all right. Well, that's even better. All right. What is the agreement that's been reached, Mr. Johansson?
The parties have competing contempt motions, Your Honor. The parties have agreed to hold those open for the time being. As the court may have seen, we filed a brief in support of our motion last week. And that brief indicates a revised proposed placement schedule during the summer for Mr. Furr, including 1 week during the months of June, July, and August, along with a rotating placement schedule for spring break, which is March 10th to March 14th, Thanksgiving, November 25th to the 29th, and Christmas, December 23rd to January 1st. It's my understanding that the petitioner has now agreed based on that motion and the reduced request for placement that we are now operating under the best interest standard, and we would jointly request the appointment of a guardian ad litem and the scheduling of a status conference.
So the matter hasn't resolved. You haven't reached an agreement. You just agreed to try and bypass the court's decision on the motion to dismiss to see if there's a substantial change in circumstances, because so far I'm not yet there.
Yeah, so the initial motion that was filed by Mr. Furr requested primary placement in the summer months with some alternate placement to Ms. Furr. And then I think at the May hearing, that changed to a week-to-week schedule. And then as of Friday in the brief, that changed to simply one additional week for the months of June, July, and August. And I think what that ultimately does, if that's, and I guess the agreement would require that be his request, it's no longer a moving target. That takes us out of the substantial modification realm.
Does not still do that, but you can argue if you want to agree to modify the placement. It still would substantially modify her placement if I even take away a Monday, if she had a Monday. That's what the case law says. You're modifying what the orders originally were. And so to this court and the higher courts, how I interpret the higher courts is that is a substantial modification. If she's had Mondays from the very beginning and I take away the Mondays and give the Mondays to Mr. Furr, that substantially modifies the order. But if you reached an agreement and you wish to bypass that and have the court hear other things, I can certainly do that. I have not yet reached the decision because we haven't finalized the hearing on whether a substantial change has even occurred where the court would even think to appoint a guardian ad litem. So, but if that's the party's agreement.
I would like a second with Ms. Furr under.
But I mean, but if you're telling me that the parties reached an agreement and everything's settled and fine except for the contempt, I'm willing to do that. Otherwise, I've wasted a half a day previously and I'm set for a half a day today. Then I can reach a decision. So if parties would like to step outside and have a discussion, attorneys, counsel with clients, go ahead. But otherwise, I'm here until noon. And I've already been here and I've already taken, you want me to count all of the notes I've already taken?
Okay, this isn't the one I watched. There's a lot of time where she's off. I watched one where she was being quite hectic with the lawyer. Hey, Britta. Thank you. Thanks, Sim.
Back on the record, same appearances as previously noted in the marriage of Carrie Fur and John Fur.
Parties have reached an agreement on all of the issues before the court. I'll recite it if that's okay. And
Please do so.
with respect to placement, the parties have agreed that Mr. Furr's summer placement, which would include the months of June, July, and August, will include his every other weekend that he's ordered and one additional week to include his weekend in each of those months. So one additional week in June, one additional week in July, one additional week in August to include his weekend. The parties will agree on those specific weekends no later than May 31st. The parties have agreed the children will get passports. The parties have agreed that their respective contempt motions are withdrawn. With respect to holidays, there's some slight modifications. The children now have a spring break, or if they do have a spring break through school, the parties will rotate years where each will have placement during the spring break. During Christmas, they will follow the Christmas and New Year's schedule stated in the court's findings of fact, conclusions of law, and judgment of divorce for those specific holidays. With respect to any additional days the children have off from school, they will equally share those. And with respect to Thanksgiving holiday, that will be as stated in the court's findings of fact, conclusions of law, and judgment of divorce. That's what I understand to be the agreement on issues.
Mr. Johansson?
Oh, just in terms of the notification on the 31st. So
As it's currently written in the
the current degree indicates that there would be a notification given by Mr. Fur, just so there's a stipulation that they're not negotiating that week. It's just a matter of notifying her by May 31st, which week that would be.
That's fine.
Okay.
Well, I would like to be able to agree, however.
Otherwise, the rest of the agreement is correct.
I guess the one other provision I would propose is that the necessary paperwork for the passport be completed by the parties within 30 days.
All right. Is
No
that
objection.
acceptable? And if one parent, I just did this with my own minor children, if one parent would, like if Mr. Fur, because you work the distance with your job, you can sign an affidavit. You can do that as long as it's notarized and you have a copy of your driver's license, front and back, that has to go with, and then Ms. Fur can take care of that and handle the whole thing, or vice versa. If one parent wants to do it, instead of having both parents take the time off of work and both parents going to get it done, that's just an option or suggestion. Again, I just took care of that myself. It was pretty easy to do.
Yeah, I provided
So-
all that paperwork to him previously.
All right. So that's the full and final agreement. So both contempts are dismissed and that's resolved, correct?
Yeah, the one other point, I don't think it's an issue, is that if she is going to take the children out of the country, he would of course like notification at least a few weeks in advance.
Well, yeah, I
No,
think the law does say 45, or if you're going to do that, you have to provide the other parent with notice.
Yeah, I mean, when we go on vacation anywhere, he's made aware of it.
So the same thing, like if, I'm sure there's not any unexpected trips out of the country, but there could be, but at least 30 days.
That's fine, Your Honor.
All right. So All right, so that is all well and good, and I want to say that I'm sure that this was not an easy process for anyone here, because it involves the children that both of you probably want to have with you at all times and want to be involved with at all times. But that you were able to reach this, so I commend both of you for doing that, because it is very difficult. I'm hoping that the issues that I've read in the motions, with not being with the, or, and heard at the last hearing with the eyesight, that you're able to work those things out together. Because otherwise then there must be a motion for a change in custody. Because then one parent may have to make those decisions instead of both parents if you're not able to agree. So I'm strongly encouraging you to continue down the path that you're doing right now for the best interest of the boys. Because they do deserve both mom and they do deserve dad, and they do deserve to have not the feeling of anxiety and all of those negative things if the parents aren't able to at least fake it like you make it, or whatever, that you do get along. So again, I commend you both on being able to work this out with council for the best interest of the boys. Mr. Smith or Mr. Johansson, who would like to draft the order?
I could draft it.
All right, if you draft that, have Mr. Johansson review it and then send it to the court for signature.
Okay.
All right, and the plus side, you save a whole lot of more money in council fees for coming back to court and guardian ad litem fees, etc. So it is always in the best interest to try and resolve things. All right, thank you. We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Magistrate Donald Chisholm. I haven't watched him before, but whenever I see a thing come up, like in my, obviously because I now subscribe to so many judges, I see a lot of random ones pop up. So some of these I've just added to this court hopping playlist that we can hang out and watch at the same time. But I have zero idea of the content, and I have zero idea if it's actually interesting. So I do, like, if there's someone you enjoy or whatever, please, like, let me know, because I will find more. If there's someone that is just a no, like that one yesterday, that the bad audio, like, even if that was a really interesting case, a lot of people can't watch that court with that audio, which means I can make it happen, but I have to, unfortunately, do it like ahead of time. Chisholm. Oh, okay.
Still joining.
I had cake on Sunday. I had carrot cake, and I'm allergic to cinnamon.
What does the acronym FMO mean?
Front moving opposite for
Thank you.
radar.
Burrell, 24 RO 04644 has failed to attend. Matter set for 9:01. It is now 9:18. Default will enter. Mr. Shaw left and did not come back. Still 9:18. You've waited long enough. Default will enter. In the event that Mr. Shaw comes back on, I'll set aside the default and we'll reschedule him
Okay.
because he was here for a while.
I'm just there.
All right.
You know, sign back. on.
Okay. So you are good to go.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your speed today.
Got to keep it moving.
That's right. You have a good Monday.
You too.
Thanks.
A hot cup. He can join Thurston County. Okay. 5 minutes and then gone.
So if we can't hold up the officer any longer. So, Carter, I'm just to if you deny.
This judge is familiar, the one that you guys just suggested.
So just report them. Can't connect. So we are just gonna reschedule you. Please make sure you have a device that works, and if you do not, you can visit courthouse. We'll provide one for you.
I'm gonna need to watch
We've
some of
been
that.
Trying to allow you to come in.
Sorry, Judge, that's not happening today. Oh, I love this judge so much. He is so sweet, and his court is, I love watching this judge. It's gonna pop up now when I press play. That judge, Psychosaurus that you sent, I'm going to listen to some of his stuff off stream because I don't know yet if I just clicked into a trial and if there's problematic stuff. This judge is Derek Menecki. Here it would be like Meinecke. Actually, I don't know. Talking rubbish. I don't know, but I love this judge. And speaking of this judge, before I get into it, first of all, if you're here and you're going to say I talk too much, this is not the place for you. I'm always going to talk too much. I literally made it my entire day job. I did very well, and radio was my career. This judge, I had, there was a teacher that I was going to show you guys, broke my heart, didn't know if I should do it. You know, that whole situation. Anyway, he came back. There's a resolution. I'm happy with the resolution, and so I have now saved them to cut down and show you guys. And it's the same judge, and he has sobriety court, and he's got Operation Drive, and he just wants people to do super well. I am working today. I'm going back to work in about 35 minutes. Brian Oakley. I do have Judge Oakley, but there's nothing in my court hopping thing for Oakley. I don't think. He's 34th District Court, right? Oh, he is in here. He is in here. I just added him. I tried to space out. I didn't get very far. Here he is. Let me move him up. I tried to space out with move with Judge Middleton. Oh, okay. I'll do that in a different screen. Let's watch one of my favorites.
Case number 2401-248, People versus Megan Ellis.
Ryan Clues on behalf of the city of Royal Oak.
Mr. Phillips?
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. Attorney Joey Phillips on behalf of Miss Ellis. Miss Ellis, could you please state your full name for the record?
Megan Ellis.
All right, today's date and time set for a pretrial. It's my understanding Mr. Phillips is asking for a brief adjournment. I don't have an issue with that. So that puts us at 2 weeks out in all likelihood. Let's see here. So today is the 18th. Actually, the first I'm not available, but August 5th I am available. Mr. Phillips?
Just double check my calendar with that should.
I can't see this.
What time, Your Honor?
The
I'm
5th.
actually,
Go ahead.
I'm at your court at, I believe, 10:15 on that day.
I'll adjourn the pretrial to August 5th. And that will be at 10:01 a.m. We'll do that on Zoom.
I'm sorry, can somebody explain like what all of this means?
Well, Ms. Ellis, so basically you have a court date today.
Sure.
Mr. Phillips is asking for additional time to review discovery reports, things like that, to give you the
Okay.
best possible advice. So he's asking for an adjournment. An adjournment just means you move this date to another date because
Sure.
he certainly doesn't want you to make a decision related to this case today. So he's trying to connect or have the court select a date so that everybody before we break knows when we're coming back.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
That's like
is
we
there
talked about last night.
right, but what about the bond conditions?
We're getting to that. Hang
Okay.
tight.
Okay. Sorry.
Right, Mr. Phillips, you have a bond request?
Thank you, Your Honor. At this point in time, my client's bond does not permit her to leave the state of Michigan. She had a pre-planned trip to Europe that she's had to move the flight for a few times because of this matter. She's asking the court's permission to travel to Europe. She knows if today's the next date, she'll be able to do Zoom from there. I'm not sure when her return date is. Miss Ellis, when's your return
August
date?
28th.
August 28th.
August 20th.
20th, I'm sorry. She's just requesting permission to travel there.
I have a return flight, a flight there. So, I mean, there's really no worries on my end, but I've never done this before, so I understand.
Well, no, so let's walk through this. So Mr. Phillips, your client wants to leave on what day?
Yes. I'm supposed to
That'd be
leave
today.
Yes. Supposed to leave today. I'm supposed to leave June 28th.
So let's try this again. So she has a request. She wants to leave today at what time?
It's 7:30 p.m.
So she wants to leave today, July 18th at 7:30 p.m. Traveling from Detroit to where?
Frankfurt.
And how long would you be in Frankfurt?
I'll be in Germany is my main station for the whole entire time that I'm there. There will be other business that takes me like, maybe to Dusseldorf or Munich or perhaps Amsterdam, but Germany is where I'll be until I come home out of Frankfurt back to Detroit.
First of all, she came in sounding ditzy, but the call says Dusseldorf. She can probably even say Greenwich. She can probably even say that. She probably knows what that time zone is. I'm very impressed. That sounded mean, but genuinely.
Right.
Okay, so.
On August 20th.
So this is, again, with your admitted unfamiliarity with the court system, when someone requests to leave the state and then even more the country, usually there's a pretty detailed itinerary that's prepared for the court so that
I can do
know
that.
exactly where you're at through the entire duration. So it can't just be, I'm going to Germany.
Okay.
We need to know where you are, where you're going, where you're staying, those types of things, because you have a pending assaultive charge. I need to guarantee your reappearance. Now, Miss Ellis, you might say, and have very good reason to say, I'm definitely going to show up for all my court appearances. I'm definitely going to do that. But I don't know you at all, Miss Ellis, and the allegations here are pretty significant. And so we need to make sure that you reappear. Now, it sounds like you have a pretty organized itinerary, plans, things like that. So when can you get that to the court?
I have an entire spreadsheet already prepared. I can send it right now.
Now, what is the purpose of this trip?
It's for work. I've worked for German companies since I graduated in state. Automotive. And I may, see a Taylor Swift concert while she's over there, but then, yeah, I worked for Bosch and then Infineon Technologies.
So what portion would you say is business and what portion is personal?
70-30.
Okay.
80-20. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to not have fun just because I'm in trouble for essentially nothing. But yes, I can send that over to, would that be my lawyer or you to the court clerk?
Okay, so a couple things, Miss Ellis. I think it's helpful to make sure you know sort of how, where this all stands. When you say make a comment like I'm not going to have fun, I'm not going to not have fun. I mean, you understand right now that if I decide that I can't guarantee your reappearance or that I don't have a full understanding of what you're doing, your current status is you cannot travel out of the state.
No.
Okay, that's your current status as of right now. I have not changed any of it. That flight, you would not be able to go on it today unless I change my mind. Okay.
I know.
So that's where the court's at right now. Mr. Phillips, have you talked to Miss Ellis?
Yes, I spoke with her last night about this, Your Honor. I wanted to just bring it to the court's attention today while we were on the hearing. If you want a more scheduled itinerary, I'm happy to get that from her and provide that to the court in motion format. I wasn't aware there was going to be travel within where she was at. So,
I mean, it's the same country, but yeah.
That being said, Your Honor, I will happily get that spreadsheet itinerary for her and submit it to the court in motion format.
Stand still. Thank you. Glad you heard me. No. Hey, stand still when you're talking to the judge.
See, the information that I had is, again, I guess I need some more information about how this is business related, because the information that's contained, at least what I was under the understanding was that the whole point of this European trip was just to follow Taylor Swift.
I have concerts planned because she's in Europe all of this summer until the end of August. So she comes back to the United States and whatever, Canada, Mexico. But I'm already going to be over there, and this is not irrelevant. This is not irrelevant.
Miss Ellis, not yet.
No, I'm saying I understand. Previously, before all of this happened, I was already going to be over here. This has been planned since April. So I'm already going to be over here for work. I aligned, which is why I had to make a spreadsheet so that I could plan to see her while I was already over there for the things I'm doing, because I think she's the best thing in the world.
Okay, so we're talking July 18th through what date?
August 20th.
August 20th. And just so I have an understanding, how many shows will you be going to?
I think 2. I mean, I've already seen her a lot this summer and last year. So, and budget wise, it's just going to depend on budget. I'm already over there for a long time and that's going to be stretching me, plus lawyers. So.
Okay, so Mr. Phillips, obviously we're going to want to make sure that she can follow any and all bond conditions. She's, you know, her requirements indicate that she's not to use any alcohol, marijuana, illegal controlled substances. How do I guarantee that that's not going to happen while she's in Europe?
Well, I mean, obviously, Your Honor, if the court would like, if she needs to test before and when she returns.
I'm
So
happy
I guess that
to.
would be a long period of time. So I don't know if the court would want something like a SoberLink device.
To be fair, I don't have, I mean, I don't recall any allegations that that she, I'm trying to remember if there were any allegations. I don't think so, that she had any that drugs and alcohol were involved with her.
They were not.
So if there was that, I would certainly require a SoberLink to go with her, but I don't think that that is absolutely necessary. So here's my, so if we set a court date for the 5th, she'll be in Germany at the time. She could zoom in. That should be something that she can accomplish there. She's going to be 5-6 hours ahead. But as long as she makes sure she's aware of the time change, that shouldn't be an issue. She'll be out of the country, so the no contact order, it will be even easier to follow because she's out of the country altogether. And so there's again, you know, I want to make sure that we have detailed, as she's described, a spreadsheet so we know where she's going to be, where she's going to be staying. And she cannot deviate from that without the permission of this court. So, Miss Ellis, what that means is, say you get over there and all of a sudden there's an opportunity to go to another show in another city, because I do know that there's,
she's touring, yeah,
all over the place. Okay. And you're going to deviate from that. You need to contact the court.
Okay.
All right. To make sure.
Is that through Joey?
That be through your attorney, Mr. Phillips. Yes. So you would let him know and he can contact the court. And we need to know, like, if there's a deviation from what you've provided, because what you're providing me today is what I've agreed to. If it changes, I haven't agreed to that. And so I'm not saying no, I'm just saying, let us know.
Sure. I'm happy to.
Okay. So Mr. Klusny, did the people take a position on this?
Judge, we would just leave it to the court's discretion.
Okay.
All right, so she'll be allowed to travel as long as a detailed spreadsheet provided to the court today by 1 p.m. She'll be able to leave today then at 7:30. So July 18th, returning on August 20th.
My return flight is on August 20th. Yes. So we arrive the same day. When you head over there, you arrive the next day.
The no contact order continues. Now, Ms. Ellis, again, if I'm affording you this opportunity and I'm not requiring you to take a SoberLink, you cannot drink, you cannot use substances. You've got to stay focused on work and experiencing this opportunity that the court doesn't have to give you, but is allowing you to go experience. So the last thing you want to do, Ms. Ellis, is take advantage of that trust. So if I find out that that behavior has occurred, then that's a violation of my bond. So just stay on your game. You're getting a chance that not always is allowed to people who are on bond for an assaultive crime. But I don't have any prior incidents that I'm aware of from Miss Ellis. Obviously, this is a significant, substantial expense that she's incurring. That obviously will be very difficult for her to get refunds on at this late of a date. Mr. Klusny, you're not opposing this, correct?
I am not, Your Honor, no.
Okay, so Ms. Ellis, you know your responsibilities. As long as you follow my rules, you can go.
Okay, is there anything within these few weeks? Like, I understand the bond conditions, but is there anything I need to do like while I'm over there? Maybe I guess I could just talk with you, Joey, but like,
Yeah, well, we can talk about that, but you heard the court's order. You give me that spreadsheet and I will provide it to the court. And if anything changes, you will contact me.
I would advise that you check in with Mr. Phillips throughout the trip and just let him know, hey, I'm here. I'm still, I'm on track with everything. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to. I'm going to be at this location, like I told you on my spreadsheet. I think that would be the best advice.
that's what I'm wondering, if there's something I have to do, like, hey, I'm here, or hey, I really don't know.
Check in with Mr. Phillips. That is your requirement. Okay.
Okay.
All right. We'll see everybody back on August 5th. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
All right. Calling case number.
Judge, if it's okay, I'm gonna go meet with other attorneys. Is that okay?
Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you.
Calling case number 23-01398, People versus Edward Curitan.
Good morning, Your Honor. John Angot on behalf of Edward Curitan. Judge, he's in the Oakland County Jail. We both consent to the use of Zoom for this hearing.
All right, today's date and time set for a pretrial. It's my understanding that he's going to offer a plea and ask his court for consideration for time served. Is that correct?
That's correct, Judge. I checked the Oakland County Jail inmate referral system, and he's been locked up since June 28th.
So that gives him 21 days credit?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Curitan, please raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, please put your hand down, sir. All right, Mr. Curitan, can you read, write, and understand the English language?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you hear and understand me?
Yes.
Have you had a full chance to discuss this with your attorney?
Yes.
And are you satisfied with your attorney's advice?
Yes.
You're pleading guilty to trespassing. That's a misdemeanor charge, carrying with it a maximum possible fine of $500 plus costs and up to 93 days in jail, all at this court's discretion. Before you enter a plea, you should understand you have the right to represent yourself or be represented by an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you at public expense. You have the right to a trial, either by me or by a jury. At that trial, you'd have the right to confront, cross-examine, question all witnesses brought against you. You'd have the right to have the court subpoena witnesses on your behalf. You'd have the right to testify if you wanted to, remain silent if you wanted to, and no one could say anything about you remaining silent. As you appear before this court, you're presumed innocent of this charge, and your guilt has to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Mr. Curitan, do you understand that once you enter a plea, you give up all those rights that I just said that you have at a trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
Once you plead guilty, there'll be no trial. You understand that?
Yes.
Anybody promise you or threaten you in any way?
No, Your Honor.
It's your own choice to do this?
Yes.
All right, directing your attention to August 2nd of this year, August 2nd of last year, 2023. Were you trespassing at the Hyatt in the city of Royal Oak?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, satisfied, Mr. Angot?
Satisfied, Your Honor. Thank you.
I too am satisfied the plea is knowing, voluntary, and I could all accept the same. Anything else to sentencing, Mr. Angot?
Judge, I just asked the court to adopt what we've requested.
I don't have an issue with that, Mr. Curitan. Anything you'd like to say?
No, Your Honor.
It's a senseless court that should serve 21 days in jail with 21 days credit. I'll waive all fines and costs. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's it. Yes, sir.
Have a good day.
See you later. Thank you.
When you say Orange County, California, all that I can think of is California in the I loved the OC. Loved. Okay, I'm going to find food and crack on with work. So I'll be here, but I'll not be here. This is now interpreter. So I'm going to skip to this judge.
You haven't had a chance to
This judge we watched last night.
Talk to him yet, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna put you in a breakout room with Ms. Mickelson from the Public Defender's Office, give you a chance, to talk to her for a minute or two, and we'll bring you back over and get this done, okay?
All right.
So, actually, if you make this bigger, then you'll see the option.
I will.
Well, I guess it's under more. Well, yeah, breakout rooms right there.
Okay, so it's
And just one, assign manually.
untying manually, create,
And then when you go up to the little assign,
assign,
and then just fill in those two,
Taylor, and that one, and then.
open all rooms. No, just open all rooms.
Oh, open all rooms, okay.
Yep. And then he should go over automatically. She'll choose to go over,
Okay.
and then she'll come back when she's done. We can do all those 2 o'clocks in the meantime, hopefully.
Okay. Seriously?
I think that's Austin Hill. All right, if everybody, we're just waiting for 1 or 2 more. All right, Mr. Hill.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you're building a house in the background, but you're in court. We cannot have that much noise. You're in here with a lot of other people.
Okay, give me 2 seconds, sir. I apologize.
All right, so everybody is here for the same thing, that is to be arraigned on some traffic misdemeanors. Mostly, that is the charge of driving while license suspended, which means you were operating a motor vehicle here in Allegan County at a time when the Secretary of State had you either suspended or revoked. That's a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fines and costs. Go ahead and let that phone in.
Okay.
And so essentially, I am going to leave everybody in here all at the same time and just arraign you one at a time. So please just be quiet till we're talking to you about your case. Here's what I really want to tell you guys ahead of time. You are able to plead guilty right now in front of me, but I can't make plea deals with you. So if you plead guilty in front of me, you plead guilty as charged. What I mean by that is if what you're looking to do is to talk to someone about your case, try to explain things away, maybe get a lesser charge, that is possible, but it's not possible in today's date. There is no prosecutor here today. So if that's what you wanted to do, you would have to essentially just plead not guilty today. That does mean you have to come back at least one more time, but that next time you come back, you'd be talking to someone from the prosecutor's office. That's who can wheel and deal with you. All right, we're gonna start with you, Mr. Bowman. You able to hear me? All right, Mr. Hill, we're gonna have to remove you. You're just gonna sit in the lobby till everybody else is done. And
I
then
just
we'll try
muted
to
my
bring you
phone. I'm
back
sorry.
over.
I'm muted.
No, you're not, sir. I can tell where all the noise is coming from, and it's you. All right, so, Mr. Bowman, you're able to hear me? I need you to take yourself off mute so I can hear your responses. A little red microphone with a slash through it. You need to tap that.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
This says on May 26th of this year on US 131 in Wayland Township that you had the unlawful use of a license plate. That is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 90 days in jail and or $300 fines and costs. Understanding that charge, do you wish to enter a plea of guilty or not guilty to that charge at this time?
I plead not guilty.
Okay. Now, should that go all the way to trial, would you like to have that trial in front of a jury or in front of a judge?
What's the difference?
Probably not going to go to trial anyway, but a trial in front of the judge, a judge lists the evidence, decides whether you're innocent or guilty. It's a lot quicker and it's more informal. In a jury trial, judges like the referee, but you pick 6 people from the community to decide whether you're innocent or guilty. They take all day. We only do 1 a day. They're a lot more formal process. But the choice of which trial to have is up to you.
We're just gonna do the quicker one.
All right. Now you can continue to represent yourself free of charge like you are today, or you could always hire an attorney. I'm going to give you a PR bond or personal recognizance bond. What that means is you don't have to pay any money. We're essentially trusting you that you'll just keep coming back to court. So all we really need to do is make sure this is a good address for you on Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. Is that a good address?
You said Martin Luther King, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, then you are all set, sir. You will get your next court date along with new Zoom instructions sent out to you in the mail. Next time you Zoom back in, you'll be talking with the prosecutor, hopefully resolve your issues, but you're all set for today. You can go ahead and go.
Yeah, I will go.
All right, Mr. Phelan, you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Can you hear me?
to you. Yep.
Good afternoon. Yes, sir.
This says on May 27th of this year on US 131 in Door Township that you had a driving while license suspended. You also have a ticket for no proof of insurance. That ticket is not punishable by any amount of jail time, but it is punishable by additional fines and costs. Understanding those charges, do you wish to enter a plea of guilty or not guilty to those charges at this time?
I do have the insurance. I just didn't have it at the time. So I guess so.
Would you like to plead not guilty so you can show that to the prosecutor and hopefully get it dismissed?
Correct. Thank you.
Should this
Yes,
go
sir.
all the
That'd be
way to
everybody.
trial? Should this go all the way to trial? Would you like to have that trial in front of a jury or in front of a judge?
Judge.
Okay. Same thing you heard me say about representing yourself for free or hiring an attorney. Same bond, that PR bond. So we need to double check your address here. Audley Drive. Is that a good address for you?
No, I need to update my address. That's
All
it.
right, go ahead whenever you're ready.
Yeah, 9740 Summit, SUMMIT. It's Avenue Northeast, Rockford, Michigan, 49341.
Okay, so you will get a next court date for courtroom B in front of Judge Belargin, along with new instructions that'll get sent up to you at that address with new Zoom instructions. The next time you Zoom in, talk to someone from the prosecutor's office and hopefully resolve your issues. But you're all set for today. You can go ahead and go.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your time.
Okay, so Jackie, what you need to do now is go and close out all of the breakout rooms, and that will kick Mr. Covey back over. Mr. Klingenberg, you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna read this to you. Says that on May 26th of this year on 142nd Avenue there in Door Township, that you had a driving while license suspended. Understanding that charge, do you wish to enter a plea of guilty or not guilty to that charge at this time?
Guilty. Not guilty.
All right.
Not
I'm only
guilty.
talking to Mr. Klingenberg right now. Mr. Klingenberg, what is it you wish to do?
Not guilty.
All right. Should that go all the way to trial? You're looking to have trial in front of a jury or in front of a judge?
Jury.
Okay. Same thing about representing yourself for free or hiring an attorney. Same bond, that PR bond, that is no driving without a valid driver's license. Is this a good address for you on 106th?
No, it's 2072 142nd Street.
All right, you're gonna have
Door,
to give that
Michigan.
to us over again. What's the good address?
2072 142nd Avenue, Door,
Okay,
Michigan.
you already have it. All right, so you'll get a next court date for courtroom B in front of Judge Belargin. That'll get sent out to you in the mail along with new Zoom instructions, but you're all set for today.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Covey. We got a
Yes,
way
sir.
of reading, Ms. Nicholson? Ms. Nicholson, you're muted.
Taylor Michelson appearing on behalf of Mr. Covey for purposes of arraignment. We've reviewed the charge and waive a formal reading. Mr. Covey would like to enter a plea of guilty.
Mr. Covey, anybody force you or threaten you to make you plead guilty?
No, sir.
Are you pleading guilty of this, on this because you believe you are guilty of this?
Yes, sir.
March 28th of this year, were you operating a motor vehicle here in Allegan County?
Yes, sir.
And at that time, Secretary of State have you as either suspended or revoked?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I do find that as a factual basis to accept your plea and that your plea is knowing and voluntary. How many days you been in jail?
I've been in jail for 10 months.
All right. So what I'm going to do is give you 10 days of jail on this. And then I'll turn around and give you credit for 10 days
All right.
in lieu of fines. So you're essentially all set on this case, except that you just picked up a new misdemeanor conviction, all right? Other than
Okay.
that, you're all set. We'll go ahead and release you. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
All right, Mr. Mihar, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna read these to you. Looks like you got 2 of them. So, June 9th of this year, 129th Avenue there, Wayland Township, driving while license suspended. Your other one, May 24th of this year, US 131 Wayland Township, driving while license suspended. Understanding those charges, do you wish to enter a plea of guilty or not guilty to those charges at this time?
Not guilty.
And should this go all the way to trial? Are you looking to have trial in front of a jury or in front of a judge?
Jury.
Okay. Gonna represent yourself or hire an attorney. I will give you PR bonds simply because you're not standing in front of me. You get caught doing this again, you're gonna get a cash surety bond. You understand what that means?
Yep.
You'd have to post bond or you'd sit in jail, yeah. Is this a good address for you on Gable Street?
Yes, sir.
All right, then you are all set. You're gonna get next court dates sent out to you at that address for courtroom B in front of Judge Pelargent. That'll be the next time you're doing court, at least by Zoom, and the first time you get to talk to someone from the prosecutor's office. But other than that, you're all set. You can go ahead and go.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Somers, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I am.
Okay. This says on March 29th of this year on Lincoln Road there in Valley Township that you had a driving while license suspended. Understanding that charge, do you wish to enter a plea of guilty or not guilty to that charge at this time?
Not guilty.
Should you go all the way to trial on that? Would you want that trial to be in front of a jury or in front of a judge?
A judge, please.
Okay, you can continue to represent yourself free of charge, or you could always hire an attorney. I also gave you a PR bond, but that is no driving without a valid driver's license. You understand and agree to that?
Yes, I do.
Is this a good address for you on River Heights Road?
Correct.
All right, then you are all set. You'll get a next court date, courtroom A in front of Judge Scotchless. And that'll get sent out to you in the mail, but you're all set for now. That warrant that you had out is changed to that PR bond that I just gave you, all right?
All right, thank you.
All right, I have someone on the telephone ending in the digits 9861. What's your name, please? All right, I have someone calling in on the phone ending in 0277. What's your name, please?
Sebastian Arriaga.
Not seeing you on my sheets. What time are you supposed to be here?
It's 2 o'clock. I have the paper right in front of me, but I don't know. I think it might have got canceled.
Well, did you take care of it?
Yeah.
Meaning you just pled and paid?
Yeah, I paid. What's it called? I still got this letter in the mail, so I thought I was supposed to show up.
Well, I'm not seeing you on our sheets. So
Okay.
probably
So
all
am I all
set.
good? Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
You can remove Mr. Klingenberg. He's all done too. All right, last chance on the telephone here from 269 number ending 9861. You're calling into court, but we don't know who you are. What's your name? Let's put him back in the waiting room. And you can bring over Mr. Hill. All right, Mr. Hill, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Great, I'm gonna read this to you. It says that on May 24th of this year on US 131 there in Layton Township, that you had a driving while license suspended. Understanding that charge, you wish to enter a plea of guilty or not guilty to that charge at this time.
Not guilty.
And should this go all the way to trial, would you like to have that trial in front of a jury or in front of a judge?
Judge.
Okay, you can continue to represent yourself like you are today free of charge, or you could always hire an attorney. I'm going to give you that PR bond, personal recognizance bond, so you don't actually have to pay any money. We're just trusting you that you'll keep coming back to court. But that is no driving without a valid driver's license. You understand and agree to that?
Yeah. I think
Okay.
so.
We need to make sure it's a good address for you on South Maple Street.
Correct.
All right, then you are all set. You can go ahead and go. You'll get that next court date sent out to you in the mail. That'll be the next time that you're due in court, at least over Zoom, for courtroom A in front of Judge Cashless. It's also the first time you get to talk to a prosecutor and hopefully clear up this matter, but you're all set for today. You can go ahead and go.
Okay, thank you, sir.
I'll be back at 2:30.
Okay, thank you.
Person calling in on phone ending in 9861. What is your name, please?
Dan Holkabor.
I am going to go ahead and rename you and put you back in the waiting room for a moment. Thank you.
Wilder the dismissal.
The only file that you have, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My apologies, Judge.
No, you're all right.
Mr. Bowditch is on a Zoom.
Okay. You know what NC means at the top?
Oh, no counsel.
Oh, okay.
No, also.
You know what GC means? I don't need you. I don't need you. I got a body dismissal, doesn't have counsel, sorry. Good morning.
And just so you know, Bowditch is the only defense attorney.
Right.
Your Honor, I apologize to the court. I have a brief matter in Southgate, but I'm doing two things at this time.
Okay. Shakira Wilder? Come on up, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I put NC for no counsel.
No, that's fine, now that I know the code, that's fine. All right, we're gonna dismiss this,
Okay.
okay? But there's something on here, I'm not sure what it means. Something with attendance, liaison.
Ms. Moreno is back.
One of your donuts too, isn't he? Throw him far.
That's the fifth time. I keep track. That's the fifth time you've thrown me out.
Keep talking, you can go to do. He's eating one of your donuts too, isn't he? Throw him far.
Okay. That's the fifth time. I keep track. That's the fifth time you've thrown me out.
Keep talking, you can go to do some time in jail.
Whoa, when do I get my 2 days in jail?
Let's go.
Come on, we're gonna. Judge, I was just traveling.
Hmm? Roll around and bake it.
May I have a breakout room with my client again?
Absolutely.
Thank you. EP 836.
Appearance for Tyler.
Neighborhood Defender Service by Kate DeMott Grady, P 83667, on behalf of Anthony Tyler, who joins us via Zoom. Mr. Tyler, please state your name.
Anthony Tyler.
Good morning, Mr. Tyler. We're trying to get the prosecutor connected.
Morning.
Well, I'm here, Judge.
All right, good morning, Mr. Muhammad.
Good morning, Judge.
All right, this is defense motion, I think, no, this is plaintiff's motion to adjourn.
Well,
Prosecutor's motion.
Judge, this got amended to a PCC. And so today's a PCC day and we're setting it for exam.
Ah, okay, gotcha. August 21 or August 28 work for you two?
Your Honor, is it possible to set it sooner than that on August 7th?
Heather tells me no. That's Judge Martin's day, so she'll have Mr. Muhammad tied up.
Oh, I'm sorry. In the past, I've had cases before one judge that gets set for an exam in front of a different judge. So is that possible?
All right, I had you and Heather both talking. I'm sorry, counsel.
Oh, I was just saying that I've appeared on other cases where the PCC is handled by one judge at 34th, and then the exam is set before a different judge.
We don't do that.
I don't think you've had that with me. I don't like to set other people's schedules.
Totally understand. I guess my concern is Mr. Tyler is in custody. This is a case from 2022. We want to get it moving. We understand the complainants are out of state, but for him to have to wait a whole month, basically, the 21-day rule, exists for a reason. So
Right.
I'm concerned about us going out that far.
No, I certainly understand your objection to waiting, but I don't have too many options. I mean, I could give a special date if Mr. Muhammad is available, but with his other court duties, I don't know what availability he might have.
Is Your Honor available on the 31st of July?
Same thing. Somebody else, Mr. Muhammad's working in one of our courtrooms every Wednesday. That one's not mine, so I can't schedule an exam with him and take it away from one of my benchmates.
Understood. I guess for your honor, when is you're off until the end of July or August is what you're saying?
With Mr. Mohammed, correct.
Right. I apologize. Off is the wrong word, but
Mr. Mohammed, do you have any other days of the week where we could schedule an exam?
I'm in court 3 days for sure in other district courts. And then one of them is it's sometimes a prep day. So I don't want to say it and then they have me set somewhere
No,
else.
I understand that. One of the days you're in one of the other district courts, can you reliably say that you'd be out by a certain time? So maybe we could do an afternoon exam?
Yeah.
I'm assuming this won't be a long exam, I'm gonna guess.
It won't, yeah, I would say I'm sorry, 1 second, Judge, let me just tell.
Sure.
Yes, I would say Monday because I'm in Garden City that day, so I would say for sure I'd be out by 12:30, 1 p.m.
Okay. So Heather's looking at Monday. We can get you in here August 5th in the afternoon. Can we get them in before that?
Yeah, that would work for the people.
You know what, counsel? Let's schedule it for August 5th. I've got a jury trial scheduled the 29th that the prosecutor told me yesterday she's got questions about her complainant. So if that goes down, Heather will contact both you and Ms. Mohammed and see if we can get you into the week earlier.
okay.
Well, Judge, on the 29th would be a little tough because the thing is with this case, the reason for all this adjournment and stuff is.
Yeah, that's right. The airfare. Yeah, Heather just pointed that out.
So I'm available the 5th though. We could just stick with the 5th.
I'm sorry I can't get it earlier than that. But
It's okay. I appreciate that's a lot sooner than the end of
set up
August.
the
So
5th.
I appreciate
All
that.
right, so what do you want to do? 2 o'clock? 1 o'clock? 1 o'clock on the 5th?
That works for defense.
So I'm sorry, what was that time, Judge? August 5th at
1 p.m. work?
Yeah, can we do 1:30 just to be safe?
Sure. All right, Mr. Tyler, you catching all this?
Yes, sir.
I'm
right.
so sorry, Judge. So I just recalled that I'm gonna be completely off in the month of August. Well, for most parts of August because we're having a in-county training.
That damn training thing.
Yeah. And if I recall correctly, I believe it starts on August 5th.
All right, you know what? Let's do this. Schedule it the 31st. Schedule TB. I'm covering her docket tomorrow, so she's not gonna complain. Anyway. All right, I'm gonna schedule it on Judge Green's 31st. Well, does that give you people enough time to get here? Mr. Mohammed, the 31st of July? 2
I think
weeks.
it should work. I'll just
Okay.
I'll tell them it has to be
All right.
done that day.
Okay, Heather's gonna check the time right now.
Thank you.
12 o'clock work?
That
Yes.
works for defense.
Just remind me to let Tina know why we did that. Okay, we got it then?
Yes. Thank you,
31st,
Judge.
Judge Green, 12 noon.
Perfect. Thank you. See everyone this afternoon.
And thank you to
You're
defense
welcome.
for accommodating this request.
Totally understandable. So yes, we'll see
Thank
all parties shortly.
All right, but.
Okay, and then, if you need I don't know if it's PSR, I'm just gonna call it.
Belleville East launch. What I've got a notation is 2 smallmouth, 1 largemouth out of season, correct?
Yes, sir.
Satisfied?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Anything I should consider before I sentence?
Your Honor, the season started the next day.
But it
So-
didn't start the day before.
Nope, but I consider that the fish's fault. But
Well,
here
but-
he is.
That's
'Cause he was
because
just
you're
mind-
from the South.
He's just minding his own business. And this fish just jumped on his hook and got him in trouble.
See, I've read these statutes, Mr. Williams, and suicidal fish are no exception.
Yes, sir.
Anything
He
else I
promises
should-
he will sin no more.
All right. So court costs are assessed the amount of $145. I'm assessing 3 restitution fees to the DNR of $20 each. So that's $60 in restitution and $145 in court costs for a total of $205. Can you pay that today or do you need some time?
I need some time.
Go downstairs and work out your options.
I get part of it.
Go on downstairs. We got options.
Okay.
All right. Stay out of trouble.
Thank you, sir.
There's a collections down there. And you just go up to them and tell them how much time you need to pay that. But if you get, just ask the court officer, they'll help you if you can't find where it is. Yes, sir. All right? Yes, sir. It's been a pleasure, Mr. Williams. Yes.
You know which files we just took care of for Mr. Duncan? Was it Atkins?
We did Atkins and Bronson and Kaiser.
All 3 of them.
Purdue?
Unmute. Have you spoke to your client?
I have not.
Okay, well, he's here in person.
I will address, I will go ahead and do that on the phone and then we'll come back, but I know I want to set it for exam.
Well, no, you need to speak to your client. I will give you his phone number.
Oh, no, I understand. No, I understand. I understand.
Do you have the phone number, Mr. Becker? For your
Well,
client?
I have a phone number. I'll go ahead and take what you have.
I think she's gonna chat it to you.
Okay. I apologize for the
Okay.
confusion. I had a conflict.
So we did 2 for Duncan, 1 for Shat.
Yes.
Okay.
Duncan was.
Atkins and Johnson. Yep.
And
Yep.
Atkins,
Yep.
Atkins.
Yep. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm just trying to keep the list scratched off. You got anything ready?
Your Honor, we have an adjournment, but it's a final pretrial. Must have it on the record.
Yeah. What's the name?
Last name is Purdue, first name is Stephen.
Purdue, like the chickens?
Yes, sir.
college. I get that question a lot.
But it's a final pretrial. I'll put it on the record.
All right, Mr. Bowditch, your appearance for Mr. Purdue.
Your Honor, for the record, Jeffrey Bowditch appearing on behalf of and with Mr. Purdue. Your Honor, today's the date and time set for an arraignment in this matter. We'd waive formal reading, we'd stand mute. Also had a chance to pre-try this case, Your Honor. We are requesting a final pre-trial in which a complainant must appear.
Is that August 21? Is that the date?
Yeah.
All right, let's do that at 10 o'clock on that date.
We choose 10 o'clock, Your Honor. Mr. Purdue is coming from Flint.
That's no problem. Drive safe.
Thank you, sir.
All right, bond is continued, August 21, 10 a.m. That's with who? Is that us? Okay.
Thank you, Your
All
Honor.
right, we'll see you then. Thank you, sir. You're welcome. Okay, that was fun.
Heather,
Okay,
is
Purdue, like the
Mr.
chickens, is it
Door
not Purdue,
Horton
like
here in
cows?
person too?
Aren't they both spelled the same?
No.
Okay. Mr. Becker, did you get that chat?
I did not. I was just chatting. I was just
Okay,
typing.
hold on.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Mr. Bickard, you wouldn't happen to be here on Terry Bridges, would you?
I think he is. You're
Okay,
muted,
perfect.
Mr. Bickert.
Sorry about that. One, I have a good number. I have a good number.
Okay.
And two, yes, I am here on Bridges. Apologize
Is it
for the
up here
mix up.
somewhere?
I've been trying to call all morning,
That's
but I
good.
have
No,
a couple voicemails.
Okay, you gonna call him right now? I think he's here.
Yep. I'll
Okay.
take care. Yep.
Hey, Ken,
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Riggins. I don't think we see your
whenever you get a
client
chance, can you let
yet.
me know if any of those show calls have showed up?
Okay, I spoke with him yesterday. He said he was going to be there in person.
He is going to be in person? Okay, yeah, because
Yeah.
Judge Oakley does his dockets in person.
Yeah,
Have you talked to your client?
I have, yes, and I spoke
Okay.
with the prosecutor.
Okay, what are we doing on your case?
We're going to ask for an brief adjournment. We may have a resolution to this.
Mr. Riggins, how much time do you want?
Can I have 2 weeks? I just have a busy schedule next week. If you give me 2 weeks, looks like we may have this resolved.
Yeah, we're just gonna adjourn the PCC,
Yes,
31st.
sounds good.
9 a.m. We're gonna set that at 9:30, and that's gonna be Zoom. We'll send out a notice.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Great. The bond will be continued.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm sorry. All right, sir, your name is Dor Horton?
Yes.
All right, counsel, would you put your record on, or your appearance on the record?
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning to your staff. Neighborhood Defender Services by Ken Reagan, P82125, on behalf of Mr. Ramon Dor Horton, who appeared live in court.
All right, and I'm just gonna let your client know what we're doing. We're adjourning this for 2 weeks. It's 9:30 on the 31st here. Understood?
You said 9:30 on the 31st.
Oh, that's Judge Green, the other one's 31st of July, 9:30. Zoom, Judge Green. Understood?
Yep, 9:30 on the 31st July.
Correct. Now, let's talk about the $1,173 you owe this court. We got a drove while license suspended charge, you owe a show cause on, or a clearance fee on, drove while license not valid, you owe a $45 clearance fee. Traffic signal, you owe $530 on, no proof insurance, you owe $418 on, $1,173. Working?
Yeah.
Where do you work?
I do home health care.
Are you in position to set up some kind of payment plan?
I can,
How much?
well, $50 a week.
All right, go downstairs and set that up. When can you start that?
I start this weekend.
You sure, this week?
Yeah.
You positive?
Yeah.
All right, go downstairs and set that up. You'll walk out with actual payment schedules. Keep you on track.
Okay.
Good luck.
And if you allow, Your Honor, if I could just tell Mr. Dor Horton, I will call you later on this afternoon, okay?
I'm having trouble hearing you, so I'm assuming he is too.
He said he'd call him this afternoon.
All right.
Okay, I'll convey that. Thank you, Mr. Reagan.
Thank you.
Mr. Reagan.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Attorney's gonna call you this afternoon. Understood?
Yep. Okay.
He's the only one to show. Thanks. Do you have that file still? The DNR one? Yeah. Joe, I'm gonna give you a job, I think. I'm gonna give you a job.
write down the information. I want you to track that DNR officer down and tell him that that's extremely helpful when he puts a restitution like that on there, because it's much more likely that the judges can give him what he's asking if it's right there.
Okay. I'm gonna track this DNR also down.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be done today, but if you get it.
I can make a copy of this, right?
Mhm. Take a picture on your phone, whatever you gotta do. Trying to bring you into modern age, Joe. Ben was at lunch yesterday. He walked on, I said, nice talking to you. He never said spit.
Really?
Wow, a little bit intimidating to be there with all those old guys.
Oh,
Yeah. Didn't eat anything. I said, you gotta eat. Oh, I ate at my grandma's. I said, you gotta eat something. He just said he's fine. He just laughed. I was gonna suggest you get a beer, but I didn't think that would go over well.
I appreciate it.
Good looking boy. How tall is he? Really? He looks taller.
Ms. Moreno is back. Good morning, everyone. Today is Friday, 21st of June. Beautiful Michigan day. Rode my bike, was warm and light. Saw a few other humans out at 5:45. We have a fairly busy line lieutenant docket today. Judge Pattison has the pretrials going on in the jury room behind us. We started a little early. We're going to start at 8:45, and then we've got a batch from 9 to 11. No court this afternoon. We didn't have much yesterday. We never even turned the live stream on. We had expungement. Don't usually live stream those. The people are going to the effort to make them disappear. And then we had a couple of very brief matters in the afternoon. So we'll have a busy morning, an open Friday afternoon that may involve riding on a boat. And we'll be back Monday morning with a full docket. Anyway, one of the parties is already logged in, and we'll be joining that soon. I can't thank you all for saying good morning, and I'm still humbled by all this. Hope it's beautiful where you are. These very hot days are hard on people, but it's my favorite time of year. People think I'm crazy. We have a first case that's been set a couple of times, and we may have to actually set a trial on it. That's why I set it a little early. I hope it's not too bad in Texas. I don't think those people need much more summer rain. Good morning, Liverpool. And Northern Ireland.
Just here to say there's a
Beaches are
poll.
warm. I saw a Local Hero, the movie, and the beaches were warm. All right, looks like everybody is here. So thank you all for saying good morning. It's time to get started and we'll get to it. Try to keep my voice. Again, thank you. Turn the record on. Ready to go. Almost.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Excuse me. All right, we're ready to start at 4:45, 4:45 on a Friday morning. This matter was set a little early because, as usual, Mr. Freeman probably has to be multiple places at once. The title of this case is Guess What LLC versus Jose Rosario. Mr. Rosario is here. Josie Moreno, the manager from that complex, is here. Attorney Tyrone Fleeman for the plaintiff and Attorney Meg Bauer from Legal Aid filed a formal appearance is here on behalf of the defendant. We've been kicking this case down the road a little bit. We were here on May 10th and there were some issues. And then we were here again on May 24th and the defendant raised a number of issues about defects in the apartment, including leaks and other matters. I ordered an escrow order and the defendant has paid his escrow and the matter was set for further hearing this morning. And Meg, I'm glad to know you filed a formal appearance here. It's always helpful. So I'll start with you, Mr. Fleeman. What's the status here today?
Well, Your Honor, I believed up until last night at about 7 o'clock, I believed that we were in a great position. I believe that the wall cavity that had this leak from the upstairs apartment had been appropriately dried out, and that my client got a hold of the toilet, they had ordered a toilet tank for Mr. Rosario's toilet. It's a specific type of toilet, so they had to order the tank. That was in. They were ready to go. In fact, this morning they had planned to go and finish buttoning up the wall, and that would complete the repairs. However, I spoke with Ms. Bauer yesterday evening, and she informs me that there is still an intermittent water leak coming from above and getting the stud in the wall wet. And so obviously nobody wants to button up that wall if there is still any potential for water leaking. And so I believe we're wanting to kick the can once again, and I apologize to the court for that. We thought we had this handled, but what water leaks and the specific types of plumbing they have in this building apparently are a little tricky. And so I think we're going to have the maintenance guy go over there probably today and take a look at what is actually going on and what from the upstairs apartment is causing this intermittent, and it doesn't look to be like a gushing water, but a trickling water. But any water in a wall is bad water, and so for sure we don't want to button that wall up until we know that the water issue is resolved.
Fair enough. We're also going to have eventually some sort of abatement issue regarding what the rent should be for the periods in question. And I guess at some point we'll have to address that. So Ms. Bauer,
and Judge, on that note, Judge, I do want to comment that as unsightly as this is, they have been able to structure it such that Mr. Rosario has had a functioning shower and functioning toilet, as best I understand it. Again, not an ideal situation, not something that wants to be ignored, but it's not as much of a habitability issue. I don't disagree with your comment that some abatement is appropriate, and Meg and I have already spoken about that. But I did want to mention that they have and immediately did take steps to make sure that he still had functioning shower and toilet.
Well, first of all, I'm impressed that you guys are discussing cases at 7 o'clock at night on a beautiful Thursday in June, when you ought to be out on your patio or something. But Meg, what's your position here?
Thank you, Judge. We're certainly concerned that the repairs are done properly and not hidden behind a wall. So glad that we're able to continue the conversations, and Mr. Rosario has been documenting at my instruction throughout the course of this. We are concerned about the longevity of the time period from the repair. First notice that Mr. Rosario provided to the plaintiff was on November 6th, I believe. And there are several points of contact subsequent to that. But although he has had running water, there are some fallout effects of the significant repair or the significant nature of this disrepair, not limited to affecting his custody and his arrangements with his children. So we do have a bit of abatement conversation to have yet. But first and foremost, we certainly want to continue to cooperate with getting the apartment properly repaired.
All right, well, I've got some dates that have opened up. I can set this for a block of time in a regular landlord-tenant day, but we've got some issues. We've got the 5th of July, which no one will be here. So we won't be conducting any landlord-tenant at that time. Judge Patterson's gone and I'm gone, but I had 2 jury trial dates that have settled. One is as soon as next Wednesday, which I think is too soon. I have another opening on July 10th, which is a Wednesday. So I could set this for a block of time if we needed it on Wednesday, July 10th, or I could just set it in the regular course of business for July 8th or July 12th.
I will defer to Attorney Fleeman. There's a part of me that would like the ability to continue to have conversations throughout the course of the repair process, because once we're talking about money abatement, that since there's an escrow order in place.
Well, the other question is that too soon? Mr. Rosario's in the apartment. He plans to stay in the apartment. He's making his escrow payments, so there's no urgency here. The problem is I'm going to be on vacation in the month of July, and that would take us out quite a ways. So is July 10th too soon?
Judge, because we're chasing a water issue, and I won't bore the court with the construction background, but it's a challenging situation. And a situation that is challenging enough that we thought we had it resolved and find out we don't have it resolved. So, and obviously once the water stops moving, you still want to let it dry up. So yeah, the too soon is something I am concerned about. The 10th, that would be for like an actual trial type of time frame, you're saying? Or
perhaps, but if it isn't a trial, we'd have all day if we needed it, obviously, but we could use an hour or so on that day.
Right. No, the 10th is good with me. I've got one thing on the docket early in the morning. But other than that, I'm fairly open on the Wednesday, the July 10th, if you want to schedule it for a second.
Well, and if it isn't resolved at that point, we could kick the can down the road again. As I said, I think he's going to maintain this tenancy. He's made a good faith showing that there's a defect. He's represented by counsel and he's making his escrow payments. Mr. Moreno, Mr. Rosario, there'll be another escrow payment due July 1st. And you pay that, as you know, to the court, and then I'll hold on to the money until we decide how it's going to be determined. Ms. Bauer, does that work for you? Wednesday, July 10th?
Depending on the time, I have a dentist appointment that morning that I actually already rescheduled due to court purposes. So I'd like to not have to reschedule it again. So the morning is less ideal for me.
All right. How about 1:15 in the afternoon?
Yes, that works on my end.
That'll work. So I was hoping to find Meg having been Novocained up and trying to litigate with that puffy feeling. I was looking forward to that, but no.
Yeah, what time's your appointment? We could set it like 10 minutes after it finishes.
I could join from the chair if you guys really.
Nice. Right. Give her the laughing gas. Come on.
All right. And I assume you guys are going to continue to work on this in the meantime. And Ms. Moreno, I think the complex is making good faith effort, although it sounds like there's been a lot of delay in this. They're on top of it now.
Well,
we'll continue this matter till 1:15 on July 10th.
And Judge, can you throw us in? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. And when we're done, can you throw us all of us into a breakout room for a 2-second conversation?
Well, you're willing to stay as long as you want. I've got one that starts in 5 minutes, but I'll put all 4 of you in the break dancing room, and then I'll go on to my other matters.
And then Judge, I'll be back for the docket.
All right, thank you, Meg. I always appreciate your help.
Glad to be here.
All right, I'll see some of you shortly. I understand breakdancing is an Olympic event this year. Well, eventually get that case resolved. Excuse me. It's not very, doesn't have an allergy day. Good morning, Mr. Thornton.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Generelli.
Good morning.
This is Judge Middleton. I'm here at the court, and we might as well get right to it. We're a couple minutes early. I was hoping maybe the next set of defendants would show up. We could do the advice of rights double up. But this is file number 24664LT. It's entitled Sturgis Place Apartments, Phase 1, where Doris gets her oats versus Tony Generelli and William Lane and any other occupants. Mr. Lance Thornton is here on behalf of the plaintiff, and Mr. Generelli is here from his car. Mr. Generelli, this is a landlord-tenant matter. This is filed as a demand for payment of rent. It's not really very high, but it is a legal case. Here's our next defendant, so we'll wait for them for a minute. Mr. and Mrs. Barfield, can you hear me? Oh. Well, they're kind of there. Their
Guys,
camera's dark.
I'm going to do something that I always joked about doing. I'm gonna do recovery addicts thing.
But first, if you would, that wasn't very good. La 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 la. That was a little better. That was still bad. That shit in my life. Stand up, shoulders back, deep breath, project your voice to the back room.
My ears are a little sensy.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Nicky Nack and Gypsy's mom. Happy birthday to you. Oh, we have Boober. Boober has a birthday. Is there any others? Next verse, round 2. Here we go.
Oh, that was funny. I always joked I was gonna do that. That I was just gonna stream his stream on mine. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Before I go back, how are you feeling? We're gonna hop over there. We're gonna raid. I think we should raid. And then we hang out with Judge Fleischer later on. How does that sound? Like 9 p.m. my time. Because the reason why I'm asking is because when I did the poll, majority voted to head over there. So let's do that. Let's go in and raid and make ourselves known. Let me just see how his chat is doing. I like to raid when it's like not as...
Don't forget, free pancake.
When it's not as busy so that everyone sees it because it's fun. Okay, ready. 1, 2, 3, let's go.